The next step is we're going to go ahead and install some plugins that we'll need to complete the website. I'm going to go to the plugins area and I'm going to add new. I'm going to install the Jetpack plugin. Jetpack is able to do a number of things for your website. This will help us to incorporate some much needed features for the website that we're building. Once I've installed it, I'm going to activate the plugin. It lets me know that Jetpack is almost ready, but I need to connect to WordPress.com in order for it to fully work. I'm going to do that now. As soon as I click that button, it's going to take me to the Jetpack website where it's going to prompt me to connect Jetpack to my WordPress.com account. If you don't already have a WordPress.com account, you're going to need to sign up for one. A WordPress.com account is a free account that you can create on WordPress.com. Remember, WordPress.com is the blog hosted part of WordPress. We're using the WordPress.org custom version of WordPress, but in order for Jetpack to fully work, we need to have a WordPress.com account. So I'm going to enter in my necessary information and I'm going to create an account. Now I already have an account, so I'm simply going to log in. Once you've signed up or logged into WordPress.com, I'm going to go back and I'm going to enter in my WordPress.com username and password so that I can approve and therefore use Jetpack. I'll do that now. And now that I've done that, I'm back in the dashboard and it lets me know that Jetpack has been registered and now I'm ready to start using Jetpack. If you want to find out all of the things that Jetpack is capable of doing, I would encourage you to explore the Learn More link that's available to you once you have set Jetpack up. We're going to go ahead and click Jumpstart, and this is going to give me all of the options that I have for Jetpack. As you can see, there are a ton of features that Jetpack is able to add to your site. Some of them are activated by default, and some of them are inactive. You can customize any of these settings by simply clicking on these buttons to activate or deactivate the settings. I'm going to leave most of the default settings specified. I'm going to go ahead and deactivate the single sign-on user authentication. This is actually a really good thing to have on your live site, but because I'm working on a local site, I don't need it, and it will hinder when I log into WordPress. I'm also going to deactivate the WordPress.com tools. I don't need to use any of these items right now, so I'm going to turn those on. If you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see that you actually have 28 additional features that are available from Jetpack. And if you click that, it's going to take you into the settings area of Jetpack. The settings area is going to show you all of the additional features that are available. If you want to find out what any of these are, you can simply click on the name of the feature and it will let you know what this feature adds. So in this case, this actually adds the ability to include a carousel inside any of your posts or pages. If you want to configure it, you have the option to configure, and then of course you can deactivate it. Any of the settings that have a blue line right here are settings that are currently active. If you click configure, it's going to allow you to configure settings for the image carousel. So this would allow me to specify the background color and specify if I wanted to show metadata in the carousel if they were available. I'm going to go back to my Jetpack settings and we'll actually leave these as they are for right now. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into the pages section and we're going to create a couple of pages that we'll need for our site. I'm going to create several new pages. The first one is going to be an About Us page. This page is just going to have some information about the company. In addition to adding a title and the text, I'm going to set a featured image. I need to upload some additional files into WordPress, so I'm going to go to Upload Files and I'm going to actually upload a bunch of files that I'll be using for this demonstration. I'm going to select all of the files that I want to upload and drag them into the uploader. It's going to upload all of the images at once, and then they'll be available for me to use in my project. This is the image that I want to use. I'm going to go ahead and give it a title and an alt tag, and I'm going to set this as the featured image. At this point, I'm going to publish this page. Next, I'm going to create another new page. This page is going to be a blog page and it will contain articles. For this page, I'm only going to give it a title, blog. As to the content that's going to show on this page, we're going to be augmenting this page so that it is going to dynamically populate with any sort of posts that we've made on our website. I'll go ahead and publish this page as well. Next, I'm going to make a Contact Us page. And for this page, I'm just going to have a contact form. I'll click the button that says Add Contact Form. This button is a result of the Jetpack plugin that we had previously installed. Let me save this as a draft. And I'm going to go back into Jetpack for a moment. And you can see that one of the items here is Contact Form. This was already activated by default. If we click on this, it lets you know that Contact Form is a way that you can easily incorporate a form into your site. I'll go back to my page, and on this page I'm going to click Contact Form. It's going to walk me through the settings that I want to incorporate into the form. So for this particular form, we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a name, an email. We'll get rid of website, and I'm going to add an additional field to this. This is going to be our phone field. Once I click the plus button, I have the option to edit, and I'll give this a label of phone. The field type I'm going to leave at text, and I will not make this required. I do want to reorganize this, so I'm going to hover over the move button and simply drag this underneath the email field. And let's have this say phone number instead of phone. The other things I'm going to leave as is, except that I don't think I'll make the comment required, so I'm going to go ahead and click edit, and I'll uncheck required here. You can customize this form any way you want by simply adding a new field and then customizing the field type and giving it an appropriate label and incorporating it into your form. I'll get rid of this since I don't actually need it here. And I'm going to go to the tab at the top that says Email Notifications. Email Notifications is where I need to specify where the form information is going to be sent and what the subject line should be. So I'm going to enter my email address, and I'm going to put the subject line. Now I'll save and go back to the form builder. Now I'm done. I'm going to add this form to my post. When I do this, it is going to add some information into the visual area of this page. This information is something called a shortcode, and it is the required information to generate a form. I'm going to publish this page, and if you want to see what it looks like, you could always click the preview button to be able to preview what this looks like on the front end. You can see here though, I have a nice form, and it was really easy for me to incorporate into my site. I'm going to go back into the back end for now. I'm going to create one more page, and this page is actually going to act as my home page. I'm not going to name it home though, because at the top I want it to say we make the most delicious cupcakes and treats, which is kind of like the tagline for my website. I'm going to go ahead and change the template from default to home page, and I'll leave all the other settings as is. I also wanted to point out that I have this additional option available to me now, show sharing buttons. The show sharing buttons was added to us via Jetpack, and we'll configure this, but this is going to allow us to incorporate social media very easily onto all of our pages. I'll publish this page, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the menus area and we're going to build our menu. I'm going to give this menu a name of primary menu. I'll click the link to create the menu, and now what I need to do is I need to add the pages that I want to be part of the menu. So I'm going to click the pages that I want to be part of the menu. I want to include all 4 of the pages that we just made, plus the shop page, and I'm going to add these to the menu. Now I'm going to reorder and alter some of these things. On the menu, I don't want it to say we make the most delicious cupcakes and treats, so I'm going to expand this section, and I'm going to have the navigation label simply say home. Then I'm going to reorganize these, so the shop menu is going to become second, then about us, then the blog, and then contact us. I'm going to specify that this is the primary menu and also the handheld menu. Since we're using a responsive theme, we would be able to actually set up a separate menu for a handheld device. But because I don't have too many links, I'm going to use the same menus for both handheld and desktop. I'll click Save Menu, and then I'm just going to go to Manage Locations, and I'm going to make sure that the primary menu and the handheld menu are both set to display my primary menu. I'll save these changes, and if we go check the front end part of our website, you can see that now I have a menu and I can go to the various pages that we just made. Here's the home page. You can see that currently all it says is we make the most delicious cupcakes and treats. It also has some other sections: shop by category, new in, we recommend, fan favorites, on sale, and best sellers. These will be populated by the products that we add through WooCommerce, so we'll look back at this a little bit later on. Here's my shop page. Again, we don't have any products yet, so nothing shows up. The About page is going to display our headline image and then have the text that we entered. The blog page isn't going to show anything because we didn't put any content there. And Contact Us, of course, is going to display our form. I'm going to go back to the back-end portion of WordPress, and I'm going to go into my settings. We're going to specify some of the settings here that we're going to need to change to make our site function in the way that we want. For the general settings, I'm going to change the site title to say Sprinkle This Cupcakes. The tagline that I'm going to add is going to say Delicious Unique Cupcakes and Desserts. I'm not going to alter any of the other preferences that have been set here. I'll click Save Changes to update these changes. Next, I'm going to go to Settings, Reading, and what we're going to do here is we're going to specify for the front page that we want to use a static page. I'm going to specify that my front page is the We Make the Most Delicious Cupcakes and Treats, which is our home page, and I'm going to select the post page become the blog page that we set up. On my blog page, I'm only going to show at most 6 blog posts, and I'm going to change the syndication feeds to show 6 as well. For each article in a feed, I'm going to specify to show a summary, not the full text. Currently, discourage search engines from indexing this site is checked, and that's because this is just a demo site, it's not a live site. I'm not going to change anything else within this section, so I'll just click Save Changes. Then I'm going to go into the settings and go to the media section. And actually, all of these look fine for our purposes here. I just wanted to verify my thumbnail sizes were set to 150 by 150 pixels. That looks good. I'm going to go to the Permalink section. And as I already mentioned, the default display that WordPress uses to display page names is not very user-friendly or good for SEO. I'm going to change this to display the page names as a post name. This will have the pages show in a much more readable type of format. All of the other settings are going to remain as is. I'm going to click Save Changes. And we should be good at this point. Let's go into the front end portion of our website, and let's go back to the blog page now. As you remembered before, the blog page was completely blank. Now you can see that it's populated with some content. The content that it's pulling in is from any posts that I have in my website. So I only have the default Hello World post, but if we go back into the back end portion of WordPress and set up a new post, I'll set a featured image for this post, and I'll publish the post. If we go back out to the front end and refresh this page, you can now see that the listing at the top is our 4th of July cupcake sale listing. It's going to show our page in addition to showing the description that we wrote. Great. So now we have a functioning version of our website, and we've incorporated some customization. We are on our way to building our e-commerce website for the Sprinkle This Cupcake company.